There's major storylines heading into the third race in Atlanta. Most of it coming from the Gatorade Series race. The first is that Random Classic Motorsports All-American driver Allie Thompson will take over the number 27 U.S. Army Dodge for the rest of 2011. It is currently unknown who will drive the number 79 Long John Silver's Dodge in the Freightliner All-American Series, but well, we'll just have to find out when the All-Americans next race will be at Martinsville. Another major news headlines was Lucas Wikes has been sacked from driving from the number 79 Sonny Dodge in the Gatorade Series after taking out Kagan Russo among Jeff Johnson and Brad Curtis in a lap 8 accident. He turned into Kagan Russo to cause the lap 8 caution, and Amber Richardson, who was kicked out from the 27, will drive the number 79 for the rest of the year. And now to Kendall for the race recap. The NOVAR Verizon Cup Series Race 3 of 30 would head to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Zaxbys 250. The McDonalds Polo will go to number 10 of Connor Stanton. Stanton will lead by Brian Dawson on his outside, and right behind him is his teammate Carson Brooks in the 75. Brooks has always done very well ever since his Cup Series career started. They would get to about where the Truck Series got their first caution, lap 1 on lap 4. James Gunny did bounce around all over Aaron Fisher and Brian Dawson. He would hit, and this would cause a chain reaction crash, as this is going to take... There's Gunny in the wall. Luke Warren, the 14, who just locked himself in this week. 33 of Cameron Brooks is also involved. Most of these cars will drive away, except for the 56 and 99. Here's another angle. Brian Dawson gets hit from Aaron Fisher and Brian Dawson. He's going to go and bam into the side of the 72, bam into the 64, and then he gets turned by the 14. There's the 99 of Daniel Solon. He actually rolled over in this accident, and I forgot to tell him about that. Blake Battagliano, the 50, was also involved. He came in about 4th in points. Connor Stanton, the 10, would lead on this restart. Mike Hogan was actually doing very well. Jeff Johnson right behind Hogan. They would actually get farther than they would get farther, although there was an incident on lap 21. Ryan Pearson, Aaron Fisher, and Shane Howard, they all get together coming down the back straightaway. Kind of similar place where Blake Curtis crashed. Caution 2, lap 24 would bunch him up again. Shane Hargan will hit the side of Shane Clark III. Carson Brooks, he then will go up and turn the 32. 42 gets onto the wall, and then the clip flags out there. On the restart, the 62 would be the race leader, along with the 76 of Jake Carolyn. And there's Tony Watt. Tony Watt makes a daring move under the 03. There will be a long green flag run. Luke Warren's going to enter. This is on pit stops on lap 66, I believe. Then Logan Shin's going to enter. And then there is going to waiting. There's Brian Kittleson entering. Kittleson having a decent run. He came in at 30 in points, on the verge of having to race his way in. Luckily, he has past champions for provisional. There's Brian Dawson in the 64, who was involved in that first caution. And we're still waiting. There's Stephen Volk in the 5. Jared Lancel in the 13. Lancel, who fell after Greensville. Then we got more cars. There's Nate Piper, Scott Johnson, Mike Hogan, and James Wilson Jr. They both collided in the pits. Aaron Fisher also comes in. David Payton, who is in a silver scheme this week. He will be running the silver scheme for most of the nighttime events. And then you're gonna see Nate Piper exiting his pits. Payton's taking all 4 tires. He's leaving. And then we're still waiting. We're still waiting for more. There's Sean McDowell, Connor Stanton, Austin Warwick, Alan Kimmel, and Jake Kierland. Warwick's making his first start of the year in that number 3 car class Chevrolet. He's not doing that bad, but there's McDowell, having a great run so far. We're still waiting on more cars. We're still waiting. Caution, however, there was actually a flip to caution 2 laps 77 where caution 3 would fly. Let's see. Alan Kimmel turns, I believe, Connor Stanton, and that will turns into the 3, which turns the 24 hard to the outside. While it would continue on, there was more monkey business going on up ahead as the 16 of Thomas Lawyers. He's actually going to merge up, and then to let Brian Kittleson and Shane Clark III go by. Clark was actually the leader at that time. However, Tony Ryder decides just it would be fun to smash into the back of the 16. No reason why. And then Shane Howard would come in. Then Nate Piper, Jeff Johnson, Jaron Lansall, Luke Warren, Chandler Blake, Carson Brooks, Josh Mertz, Logan Chin, and Eric Webler, the points leader coming in this weekend. Most of these cars would go out. Stephen Volk in the 5 would be the race leader after Clark had to pit. The top 4 would break away from everybody from assuming lap cars, but the only one that could actually catch them was actually that 7 car, Mike Hogan, who was smashed into the pits. Ever since Hogan had that Daytona miscue, he's had 2 runs. Right now, he's in the top 10 in points. This would be a good week if he can stay there. He could get the points lead. However, his car is not capable of winning. His car is not a winning capable car. This was the winning move with 2 to go, as Gordon Miller makes a diving move under the 5 and the 58. He's gonna get a run off of turn 2. Volk cannot get a good run off the back straight. He tried to get a good run coming into turn number 3. However, the 91 has the preferred line, and that is going to give Gordon Millard the race win. Coming out of turn 4, Gordon Millard will give Bulls Racing its first ever points-paying win. He will win in Atlanta. For Bulls Racing, first career points-paying victory for Bulls Racing.